Hello, and welcome back to another episode of This Old Hoopty. We are, unfortunately, on a sub for probably the next few days. And for your viewing pleasure today, we have a 2001. And this bus is gross. After riding around on mine, this is truly hideous. But anyway, we got the trusty DT466. They sound nice. And I believe we have a 4-speed transmission. Fairly sure. 223,000 miles on this example. And I absolutely hate being stuck on a sub bus in the rain, especially in the dark. I'm glad I didn't have to do it this morning because it was nasty this morning. And when you're on a sub in the morning, you know, things just aren't the same. The mirrors aren't quite the same. Everything's a little bit different, and then you throw in the fact you can't see, and it's no fun. Although, generally speaking, these are pretty good runners. Kind of, sort of similar to the newer ones, but not. I think they're identical inside to the O2s. But much louder. You can hear a lot more engine noise in here. Yeah, we are currently stuck in this never-ending cycle of rain. And yesterday was beautiful. It hit 84 yesterday. Broke a record. And when I got up this morning, it was in the 60s. And I think when I left the house, the temperature is falling all day. The temperature had fallen back to about 50, and by the time I get done this afternoon, it's supposed to be around the mid 40s. Yay. Well, anyway, so far this one inside is not very rattly, which is good. Lots of loud rattles and stuff makes for a long day. Brakes feel okay. Not great, but not bad. Engine's kind of wimpy, but then again, it's not up to running temperature either. Needle is just off 140, so still warming up. But the floor in this thing is, oh my God, it looks like the bottom of a dumpster. It's absolutely disgusting. Well, at least the wipers work okay, generally okay. Tell you what my routine is when I get on a sub bus. I bring disinfectant wipes and I wipe down the steering wheel, the shifter, the brake, everything I have to touch. I bring a couple of those disinfectant wipes and I wipe all that down. And then I spray down all the inside glass with Windex, and I take my squeegee and I clean the inside glass. Because clean glass doesn't fog up as bad as dirty glass. Dirty windows fog up way faster than clean glass does. And having worn glasses my entire life, I can't stand dirty windows. I don't understand how people do it. The upside of this bus is you don't have a crossing gate to mess with. There's no student left behind alarm. To mess with. It's a simpler machine to deal with. Yeah, I think we got a 4-speed here. Well, my bus went in for an A inspection, which is the most basic. You know, they go over and the mechanics
1734
inspect all the systems and make sure everything's working properly. Check the fluids. Check the computer for codes. See if there's any codes being thrown. They'll do a test drive. Usually they'll wash them. Put them through the bus wash. Lubricate all the windows and the doors and all that stuff. They spray this spray lubricant and they spray it all over everything, not just the hinge, but everything. And I should get it back in a day or two. I'm hoping that I'll get it back Friday, I hope. That'd be nice. I'm not gonna hold my breath though. Let me see. Defrost. Driver heat. Yep, that's driver heat. Kind of heat coming out. Yeah, this bus is wet inside, so it got used this morning. Somebody else drove it. Now it's my turn. What the hell is that? How old is this bus? This thing is almost 17 years old. Ancient. I remember when these came out. Not too long after I became a driver, these came out. I remember these were the first ones that had the plastic dash like this, automotive style dash, and those fancy white gauges, and everybody was like, "Woo! Check this out!" And it was, boys, fancy, fancy inside. Remember, a good friend of mine, Jerry, got one of these new, and I was jealous. I think I was driving a 96 Ford at the time. Hey man, this just seems so fancy. And believe it or not, as loud as this thing is inside, it was much quieter than my Ford. I had an opportunity to drive one of these when they were new back from the garage, and I was like, oh my God, this thing is such a Cadillac. I think it's funny. Your perception of what's new and nice and good and changes over time. To be honest, these have held up pretty good. I mean, some of these, the plastic dash is actually broken and cracked in places, but generally speaking, they're really not that bad. Yeah, these are the white face gauges. The white face gauges typically weren't reliable. They would quit working. I had an 02. No, I had an 01 when I was working at the other compound, and the gauges rarely worked in it. And they finally fixed it at the end of the first year I drove it. But a majority of the time, the gauges would only work about a third of the time. I think there's some kind of fault in the circuit boards. They weren't too good. Yay, green light. Okay, that's full power. This is a 55 mile an hour road. There's 30. Woo, rocket ship. 35, 40, 40, 45. Somebody out there ought to time this. 50. Come on, baby. 55. At 2,600 RPM. Now that I backed off, we're on 2,400 RPM. Hey, no, yeah, it's a 4-speed. Yeah, I think the 17 turns around 1,800 at that speed. Yeah, to maintain this speed, I'm turning about 2,500 RPM. That's screaming. The fuel cutoff on the 17 is 26. Yeah. But anyway, this is going to be home for the next couple days. On the last video, when I asked about school shootings and what you thought about the situation, there's a lot of really good comments. I was really proud of you guys. There's a good mix of opinions, and nobody got nasty with anybody, which is good. Which is awesome. I think you guys are, generally speaking, are an awesome bunch of people. Gives me hope for the future of our country. And yeah, it's still running. Interior lights are on. Why are they on? Flasher. That's not it. I don't know. The interior lights are on. That's not it. That's not it. I don't know where the dome light switch is. Yeah, we're up to running temperature now, I think. Now we got decent heat coming out of the vent. This thing rides like poop though. Front end's kind of harsh. Oh man, another red light. Now guys, I appreciate y'all coming around and riding with me. And sitting through another episode of this old hoopty. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, be safe, be nice to your bus driver, like, subscribe, and have a good one. Turn off.